Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to try something a little bit different. I've always wanted to do one of these types of videos, but I'm going to quickly go ahead and explain why I like cars, Stance in particular. I was itching to drive the S2000 today because it's really nice outside. I've got a lot of feedback from my previous video, so I appreciate the support. I also got a lot of negative feedback because my car's way too slammed, but I don't want to go into that right now. Let's focus on today's video. So I've got my camera mounted to a suction cup on my windscreen. Hopefully the angle's all good. Hopefully the audio is good and you guys can hear me. And yeah, let's get this video started. So before I list the 5 things why I like Stance cars, I just want to go ahead and explain a little bit about myself, my background. I know this is going to sound a little bit cliche and everyone says this all the time, but my love for cars first started when I watched Too Fast Too Furious. I was actually 11 years old when I watched Too Fast Too Furious. I remember a particular scene where Brian O'Connor or Paul Walker gets out his boat caravan and jumps into the garage, gets into his Nissan Skyline R34 GTR. From that point forward, I knew that I was going to get into cars. And the bit where he pulls up to the street race, I was seeing all this for the first time. I saw the Toyota Supra, Suzuki's S2000, and also the FD, the RX-7, the red one. And yeah, that's where my love for cars started. None of my family are into cars, but there is one particular guy in my family that used to have a modified car. I went to Toronto because I've got family in Canada. My cousin, I didn't know at the time, but when I got there, I saw this really nice EP3. He took me out in this EP3, and then I later realised that it was boosted. I didn't really know anything about Hondas at the time, but that really like sort of set the stone for my love of cars. I can't remember how fast this car was, but all I remember was hearing his compressor surge. You know, that funny noise that you hear when people let off the throttle, the really funny turbo flutter that everyone knows about. So that's pretty much where my love of cars began. So the first thing I like, ooh, McLaren. The first thing I like about Stance cars is the way it feels. I like the stiff suspension because it makes me stiff. I like the stiff suspension and the way the car handles, especially when it's lowered. Especially in this car, it's slammed to the floor. Well, it's not just to the floor, but it's maybe 1.5 inch off the floor, and that's pretty low enough for me. And I just like the way that the suspension works, how you can feel the road, how you're dodging potholes and stuff. I know that might sound a little bit weird. I just like the way lowered cars feel. When you start lowering cars, you're lowering the center of gravity, and as a result you are improving the handling of the car to a degree. But when you start lowering your car, obviously you get the negative camber. But if you're running too much negative camber, then obviously you're ruining the handling performance of your car. But that's what I'm into. I like the lowered look, I like the way they feel. I like just, driving to car shows, bouncing up and down on the motorway with my friends. It's just, a personal preference. I just like stiff suspension. Gay! Number 2, obviously when you get into Stance, everyone has a different definition of stance. My definition of stance, it's slammed to the floor, crazy wheels that don't fit or fit depending on the car, and obviously stretched tires, loud exhaust, and shiny wheels. That's what I'm into. That's my personal taste at the moment. I like all sorts of cars. I like, track cars, I like hill climb cars, I like drag cars, I like Japanese cars, I like German cars. I'm not the type of guy that will always criticize someone's build because they're doing something wrong. I appreciate their build and I appreciate the time and effort and money that they put into their build. So Stance for me is the way a car looks on the road. You don't normally see a lowered car with slammed wheels, stretched tires. It's not very common, and that's what I like. People just, driving around day to day, and then next thing you know, at the traffic lights they see this really modified, let's say, a Honda S2000. My mate's got an orange S2000, and it's literally just like it breaks necks everywhere you go. I like that attention, not necessarily attention to myself, but I like the way my car gets attention. I like driving through like busy cities, and you're driving through town, and then you've got a lot of people on the pavement walking in, and then they see this S2000 drive past, and then they instantly break their necks. I don't know. That's just the way I'm defining the stance. I just like the attention, I guess.
Ha! Gay!
So my third point doesn't really relate to the stance scene. I think it relates to car people in general. If you're a true OG of this channel, then you know my previous car was actually a Mini Cooper S R53. That was a supercharged model. The reason why I bought the Mini Cooper S over the standard Cooper is because obviously it was boosted, and I was looking through loads of videos on YouTube, and I found out that they sounded absolutely wicked. So if you're listening to this video, my Mini had a Milltek non-resonated cutback system with a Janspeed decat, so that is the system that I had. It was really, really loud. And then my next car, which is obviously this car now, which is the S2000. I just like the way the VTEC sort of kicks in. There's not many Hondas that I'd consider buying. Obviously there's this one, the NSX, the DC5 and the DC2. Probably those are the only Hondas I'd ever consider owning. And the way the F20 sounds on load and when it hits VTEC, it's just something amazing. If you guys want to hear some exhaust clips of this car, then I've got the UK exhaust mod, so the link will be up here somewhere. I'm very fussy to the way a car sounds. I'm never ever gonna pick or buy a car just to stand it out. It's always got to sound nice to me. I just like high revving engines and shit that sounds good. I don't like TDIs, you know, I don't like gay diesels. No haters on diesel drivers, but I like the way it pops and bangs and all that shit, so.
Ha! Gay!
Everything ties in with each other, so my fourth thing is when I look at a car, I don't look at it just as a car. Non-car guys will just look at a car and think, oh, it's just, you know, it takes you from point A to point B. But for me, when I look at a car, I look at it as a blank canvas. I'm a content creator myself, and I think I do my best work when I'm creating things. I'm just grateful that I found this hobby. I know it's a very, very expensive hobby, but I'm just glad that, you know, I'm able to modify cars in the way that I want to. I always fantasize owning different cars, and I know a lot of you guys can relate. So, you know, click that thumbs up button if you guys can relate to always dreaming about different cars. Just to break up this this video, comment down below if you were given 5 garages and you were given the choice to put 5 different cars in those garages. List down below what 5 cars you'd want to put in there. It doesn't matter what it is, how much it is, just put down in the comments below. I haven't actually thought about what car I'd put in because there's so many, but yeah, comment down below. But yeah, that was my 4th point, blank canvas. I like being creative. I like to visualize things and you know, make my dream come to life.
Ha! Gay!
My 5th and final point, the list was not in any particular order, but the final point, the 5th point why I like stance cars is that I like being different. If you guys know me at all, then I always try and preach that, like, be different, be unique. You're only one of one. There's no 2 of you. You are literally the only person in the world. Embrace the uniqueness, embrace that you're different. A lot of people in the car scene will want to sort of modify their cars to get accepted in different groups, and I think that's really, really bad, because obviously we all share the same passion, so why can't we all get together and, you know, build cars and appreciate people's builds? But it's come to the stage where people are just criticizing each other's build because they don't have like 3 ground wheels, or they don't have air suspension, or their car's not low enough. Oh, that's a really, really nice STI. Nice. People criticize other people's builds because, you know, it's easier to judge than it is to sort of give them advice, if that makes sense. So back to the point, being different, I try my hardest not to compare myself to other people, but in today's world, obviously we live in a very, very social media driven society, so it's quite easy to compare yourself to other people on Instagram 24/7, and you just end up finding, like, if your meaning has life, or you see this particular person who's like 18, 19, who's driving around in like an R8 or something, it's immediately going to put your mood down. You're instantly going to be like, well, my life is worthless, why can't I do this, why can't I do that? I want to try and send out a message, just, you know, build the car for you. Don't worry about getting all the likes, but, you know, obviously getting likes, it's very, very satisfying. People enjoy the, you know, the validation, and yeah, I don't know if I'm just ranting on, but just be different. I don't want to ramble on about social media too much, but the point that I'm trying to make is, with Stance cars, I like to be the one of one. So when I modified my Mini, I'm pretty sure at the time when I bought the JR26s, I'm pretty sure that I was the only one running those wheels at the time that I bought them. I tried to make that Mini my own, and obviously copying is a sign of flattery, but if you're going to copy someone's build to the exact bolt and nut and the exact specs and stuff like that, you're not really being yourself. You're trying to be someone else, which is a no. Don't copy other people. You know, take inspiration from the person and take it and put your own twist to it, because then people will be like, whoa, you know, that's something different. But I think being too different is criticised. Obviously, again, it's judged harshly in today's car scene. So obviously, if someone puts like a big wing on a Corsa, they're like, oh, what the fuck is that? Or someone puts like a 10-foot splitter on an Audi TT RS or something like that. You know, things that are completely out the blue. People are shocked that people even do it. A particular car on the scene, there was a Lupo that had Sudani wheels. Like, if you don't know what Sudani is is basically the exposed barrel that sticks out. So you've got your stretched tyre and then the exposed barrel. So this Lupo had pretty much like -20 camber, I swear, and he had Sudani wheels, and it also had a big wing. And I appreciate that that car pretty much broke the internet. But a lot of people didn't like it because obviously it's impractical. But that is why I liked it, because the guy chose to be different, and he's, you know, trying new things, and it definitely, you know, it's got presence. So that's what I liked about it. It's pretty much undrivable, which sucks. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you're into Stance cars, then comment down below what you enjoy the Stance scene and what you don't like about the Stance scene. Interact with people, boys and girls, and share your knowledge, share the love for the Stance. Don't ruin it, don't criticise other people's builds, just build the car for yourself. And yes, I'm gonna sign off, but before I do that, I just want to say I'm going away to Prague tomorrow, and I'll be back Friday, so there will be no videos next week. If you guys enjoyed today's video, then make sure to smash that like button, drop a comment, and if you haven't already done so, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. I try and upload videos every week. It's mainly car content, but yeah, I'm trying to hit 5,000 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate, guys, if you support this channel. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!